Hello friends, hope you're doing well. This is Playing Through, a series of etudes based on motivic development. My name is Jim. Big news, Playing Through is going to be a book. We're working on it right now. If that book is out by the time you're watching this video, there will be a link in the description. If it's not, it's coming. Just be patient. I appreciate you. If you want to see more content like this, do me a favor and interact with this post somehow. Hit the bell, I don't know. In this video, we're taking a look at The View from Nowhere. This is based off of Out of Nowhere, the tune, and is named after a Thomas Nagel philosophy book about the understanding of self. It's very interesting stuff, but it has nothing to do with the etude, so you don't have to, it's not required reading. You can find all of the sheet music in your key of choice below, along with the practice sheet. If you haven't already, check out the introduction video where I talk a little bit more about what we're trying to achieve with these etudes. The View from Nowhere is based off of a diatonic arpeggio line in triplets. It's kind of the basis of it, and it's a really great candidate for sequencing through a scale. I'm not entirely sure where I picked this one off from. I hear it in folks' playing as I'm out at jam sessions and stuff. It was a student of mine. We were working on something similar to this, and we came up with this together for that practice session. So right out of the gate in the etude itself, we are developing this motif in something that's not triplets. We get quarter note and eighth note line. 1, 2, 3. It's a really good development tool. One of the things that I can use to kind of ramp up the intensity, I'm using one of those things right away if I start with triplets. So I'm starting with quarter notes and breaking this down a little bit, playing a more drawn out version, getting us ready for stuff that might happen later on in the etude. So another spot that I want to take a look at is starting in measure 28, 29, 30, 30, and 31. I'm a huge fan of this line in part because it's a 3-beat hemiola once we get into it, which is a pretty straightforward development of our idea. And then we're offsetting the idea by extending the end of it, basically, right? So it ends up being 3 beats instead of 2. The note choices in that line, hopefully, are pretty explainable. There's nothing too wild in there. In the intro video, I talk about this as well. I'm using only the 5 chords. So I'm using concert E7 and then concert D7, and then I'm resolving to G major. I'm not thinking about the 2 of the 1 bar 2 5s. All the notes are explained by the chord scale of each one of those 5 chords, but because this line has this hemiola hiccup in it, it gives this really nice motion forward, and I'm a big fan of it. So probably the most challenging part of this etude starts in measure 45 and ends in measure 49. I have taken the motif, the 6-note original idea, and clipped 1 note off. This is a 5-note idea still in triplets. So this line is a real challenge. What I would recommend for you is to aim for beats 1 and beats 3, right? So your first kind of step into this would be just playing the first measure of measure 45 and making sure you're landing on the downbeat of the concert C on 46. So working on just this much. Ready? 1, 1, 2, ba da dee 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 da. 1, and then you can add 2 beats at a time, always making sure you're landing on a beat 1 or a beat 3. So 1. Right, and then you can break off sections of that just playing 2 beats plus 1 note, 2 beats plus the landing point on either 1 and 3. 3, 4. That's measure 40, the first half of measure 46. So if you break up this line like that, you'll start to hear where those landing points are, and it'll make it sound smooth and moving through. I also want to point out how I release from that section, right? That is the most, if you're just looking at the sheet, that is the most dense part of the etude, and how I release from that is 2 quarter note phrases, right? Starting in measure 49. Right? Because I felt like after writing that line, our ear needed a little bit of a break, because that's a lot of information coming at us. So hopefully as you listen to this, you kind of agree that, like, yeah, that does feel like we need a moment to recuperate almost. So let's listen to this thing. Like I said before, if you like this content, please like and subscribe and hit the bell and leave a comment, do all the stuff. I really appreciate you. Let's listen to The View from Nowhere.